Hello everyone and welcome back to the Music Lounge. My name is Tatinda Kambeu and I'm going to be your host for today's episode. Thank you for joining us once again for the Music Lounge. And if you're new to this show, thank you for choosing to be part of this program. Now, the Music Lounge was intended for us to begin to have an appreciation for music, the music ministry, our walk with music, what music means to us with our guests and to our viewers as well. So thank you so much for choosing to be part of this program. Now, before we begin, before I introduce our guests for today, I just wanted to read a quote for you, a short quote for you that comes from Patriarchs and Prophets on page 591. It says, "Music forms a part of God's worship in the courts above, and we should endeavor in our songs of praise to approach as nearly as possible to the harmony of the heavenly choirs. The proper training of the voice is an important feature in education and should not be neglected. Singing, as a part of religious service, is as much an act of worship as is prayer. The heart must feel the spirit of the song to give it right expression." Now, this is just a quote for you to digest, for you to think about as we go through the show, but this is something I thought I should share with you. So now, without wasting much of your time, I'm going to introduce our guest for today. I would say an old friend or something, I'm not sure, but I'm sure we're all excited as well to have this person on the show today. So without wasting much of your time, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, thank you for having me. Yes, old friends. My name is Niraj Madzivanyika. Yes, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Niraj, for being here. So tell us, who exactly is Niraj? I think some people have a certain idea of who you are, but we want to know, who exactly is Niraj? What do you do? What are you all about?
Okay. So, first and foremost, I think Niraj is a joyful person. I think that's how I'd like to be known, as a joyful person. Career-wise, I'm a mental health advocate, and I also enjoy music. Music has been a part of me for a long time, so pretty much that's who I am.
Okay, great. And it's great that you've already mentioned music, so we're going to get straight into that.
All right.
Okay, so tell us, when did you start having an appreciation for music? Do you remember, was it when you were younger, or what? Like, did you start just singing and you're like, oh, I think I enjoy this? Or what exactly? Take us through your journey with music so far.
Okay. My journey with music started a very long time ago.
Okay.
I remember seeing pictures at Cranbourne Church when I was still a toddler on my uncle's laps when he used to play the keyboard there. And even as a Pathfinder, we'd volunteer to sing at the quarterly meetings. We were those guys. And yeah, my passion for music just grew from a very young age. I come from a family that also loves to sing. So I think that's an environment that encouraged me to nurture what now I believe is a talent.
Oh, okay, that's great. Do you believe that you've always been talented?
Not really. I wouldn't say I was always talented. Yeah, Jumba Discord. But I feel if you put in the work, you're able to master how to use your voice effectively. So yeah, I wasn't always an amazing singer or a good singer. I'm still striving to be better than I am right now. So yeah, it's a process that I think takes time.
Okay, so I mean, it's great that you mentioned that, there's always a starting point. You didn't always start as someone who felt like you were talented and all, but as you're going along this journey, you are developing that talent and getting better and better at it, right? So you did mention something about your family and about how you were encouraged as well to get into music because of your family, right? And right now, I'm not too sure right now, are you doing more of solo projects? Are you doing more of singing in groups or choirs or anything? Just answer the second question first, and then we'll go to the family part.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So solo projects are, they're just here and there whenever I find the time to. But most of my time is split between two music groups that I sing with. I sing with the Redeemed Family, and I sing with a new group called In Truth.
Okay.
Yes, it's an all-male group.
Oh, okay, great. Interesting. And how has the journey been so far with you? How long have you been with the Redeemed Family?
Okay. I've been with the Redeemed Family for a bit over a year now.
Wow.
For a bit over a year, and it's been an interesting journey.
Okay.
It's required a lot of dedication, and yeah, I'm really grateful for having joined such an amazing team. I like how creative people are and accommodative. It's helped me grow in ways that I can actually tell that I've been growing. Yeah.
Okay. And what about for you as a musician? You know, do you think that singing with other people is something that helps you, or do you think someone is better off just developing their talent on their own? How has it been for you so far?
I think that's something that has to do with one's personality. I think I'm an ambivert who's more towards an extrovert.
Okay.
So being in groups of people is something that I enjoy.
Okay.
So having people that you meet with on a regular basis, who you share the same passion with, helps you as an individual socially as well. You build connections that are lifelong. You grow with each other spiritually. You help each other even in other aspects of life. So for me, I found that singing in groups has been helpful, but people are different.
Yeah.
There are other people whose taste in music doesn't align with being in a big group like Redeemed,
Okay.
or maybe even like an all-male group or a smaller group where they're best suited as a solo act. And that's totally fine. But I feel if you are able to and you aren't very sure, give it a try. Joining a group helps you grow as a person.
Great, thank you. And I think my next question for you is more about, I mean, you talked about how you have seen yourself change, you know, as a person, singing with groups and also with some of your solo projects that you're doing and stuff, right? And so I don't know, maybe you can share with us what exactly about your character has changed being involved in the ministry and music ministry, because it is a ministry, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is a ministry. It's not just for entertainment or for people doing, screaming and all of that, but it is a ministry. And so how has your character changed so far from the time you started and up to now? And yeah.
I think, yeah, that's not a very easy question. But I think you become more aware of the influence that you have around people around you, people who watch you. And you understand how your actions reflect on not just yourself, but the people you sing with as well, and how people view musicians or Adventists in general. Because of how frequently you move around, people tend to get curious about who you are as a person. So I think that has helped me to become more intentional about things, about how I present myself and how I act, so that I become the best version of myself. So yeah, that's something that I realized along the journey. Yeah.
And what about in terms of things like pride? Right? Because like, especially now with the Redeemed family, you guys recently launched an album, you know, and I think a lot of people are enjoying your music so far. And so is that something that has been challenging for you, or you haven't experienced any moments where you're like, okay, now I think I need to go back and say, no, God, the glory is all for you, it's not for me. Has that been challenging for you so far?
So far, I don't think I've had to grapple with that as yet. The Redeemed family has been doing quite a lot these days, but I think it also comes with the culture that is around the people that you sing with as well. Constantly reminding yourselves that the reason why you are doing this, if it's for fame, then you're not going to last very long.
Yeah.
Constantly reminding yourself that this is a ministry and that you are doing this for the glory of God and ultimately to bring people to Christ keeps you grounded. So yeah, for now, I don't think we've grappled with that as a problem yet. But I just hope that people keep praying for us, that we continue with the same spirit of serving in God's vineyard.
Yeah, definitely. Prayers are very important, because if we try to do it with our own strength, definitely that the human mind will try to divert that pride towards you. Sorry. Okay, so now we want to talk about, you did mention that you're a mental health advocate, right?
Yes.
And so how have you found being in the mental health space beneficial with singing? I mean, is there a relationship at all with when you get into ministry, or has that helped you in any way at all with being in the mental health space?
Well, yes, it actually has helped. With being in the ministry, you get a lot of platforms where you are not just invited to sing, but to also share the word, present certain topics. So that's something that I feel has been pretty exciting. Being able to share about mental health and mental illness and how that plays into how we behave as individuals and as a society, and how that can affect even people in the church as well.
Yeah.
So that's been something that's been quite interesting for me. Music and mental health are not very far apart. There are people who actually use music as therapy, and
Yes.
it works.
Yeah, and I think it's also very inspiring that as a guy, you're also in the mental health space and you're singing and all of that. It's very rare to find men who are actually advocating for mental health and all of that. So I also really do pray that you continue, because I'm sure you're changing so many people's lives out there. So before we close off this program, right, I had 2 burning questions for you.
All right.
But I think we'll just do one. Okay, so tell us about the song that you chose to sing for us today. Why specifically that song? Does it speak to you in any way? Is there a certain experience that attached to it? Or is it just a song that you enjoy? Why specifically that one?
Well, that song is very dear to me because it's a song that talks about being cleansed even by fire. As a Christian, we're called to reflect Christ's character. And for me, and I'm sure for many others as well, that's not always the easiest thing. We're called, Anzi, in Matthew, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. But sometimes we fall short. And I'm encouraged by the words by Paul that I press towards the mark of the higher calling. Even though I have not made it yet, I keep striving. So for me, that's something that I pray for daily, that in as much as I want to be perfect, and in as much as I fall short in certain ways, God is still able to cleanse me, even in times when I stumble.
Wow, powerful. I don't think we need to say any more after this. We'll just end it here because, you've shared so many insightful nuggets. And thank you so much for your time as well.
It's a pleasure.
I really do pray for you and your ministry. There's so many challenges that you face, as you go along the way, personal challenges with others and all of that. But I do pray that you continue in this ministry because you guys are really, you are doing so much for Christ. So I really pray that you continue to be blessed, and hopefully the next time we have you here, maybe you have a few solo projects as well.
Thank you.
So we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you to our viewers as well for joining us for today's episode. We hope you've been blessed and uplifted, and I do hope that you join us next time as well. Remember that if you want to be part of the Music Lounge, get in touch with the number that's appearing on your screen right now. And if you want more from the Music Lounge, like our guest episodes, our promos, when you want to know what's happening, when, what, who, do join the WhatsApp group that we have. The link is on your screens as well right now. So until next time, have a blessed Sabbath. See you then.
Vurane motondi no fara asiku chenes moyo kondifa da mundisa bemoyo wesekana mo tomundi pise hajine ijojite majinope rajinope ramundisa bemoyo wesekana mo tomundi pise hajine ijojite majinope rajinope ramdinosi yajakai panejifu gojakashata asika nandichiezandakai pandakai pamundisa bemoyo wese kanamo tomundi pise ajine ijojite majinope raji